good morning, or good day, good evening, whatever, people of Tumblr. Nikos at Snowghoul sent a link to Let's Talk Photography, which is letstalkphotography.tumblr.com, one word, .tumblr.com, about Affinity Photos, obviously a new piece of software that seems to be targeted at Photoshop users and Lightroom users. So the great thing is that it's not a subscription model, so you can buy that piece of software and then it's yours, and it's comparatively affordable, with at around 50 euro. That must be like 55, $60, something like that. And there's a free beta version available to test, and that's what I did. I downloaded the software and installed it on my computer. And I didn't look at it before, so this is what I saw. This is, what I did. So maybe it helps you as well. So yeah, here we go. My name's Pete. I like pictures, but you know that. Now I'll have a sip of coffee. Hello. So this is something at Snowghoul. Nikos sent a link, or submitted a link to Let's Talk Photography about Affinity Photo, which seems to be a new, I quote here, professional photo editing software. And other than the usual pieces of software that we know, like Photoshop, and no, not the usual, like it seems to be trying to be a competitor for Photoshop and Lightroom, and it says no subscription, just 49.99 euro, or you can, it is also available for Mac. So what is Affinity Photo? Affinity Photo, obviously it took 5 years in the making. It is said to redefine the boundaries for professional photo editing. A professional photo editing software with meticulous focus on workflow. It offers sophisticated tools for enhancing, editing, and retouching your images in an incredibly intuitive interface. And that's what we're going to try, because I downloaded the Windows beta, which is free. So here we are. This is this is the first time I started this piece of software. The only thing I did was, because when I started it, it demanded that I'm on Windows 7 here, 64-bit, and it demanded a Windows Aero desktop theme. If you don't know what that is, you probably have it anyway. If you know what it is and you disabled it on purpose, then you know how to enable it again. So, funnily enough, I installed the English version, but still it's in German here. Okay, I never played with that around. I have no idea. So this is really just completely new for me. So welcome to Affinity Photo. No document, blah, blah, blah. It's just open one of those projects. Let's take the one with the fox. Oh, we obviously have to. To download an example, click on the miniature. That's what I did. Doesn't work. Oh, now it does. Now it downloads the visit, 55.5 megabytes. So now we open it. Okay, here we are. I will try to change the interface into English. Miniature, here we are, English. Let's go to the United Kingdom, British English. Okay, and we have to restart the software. I'll be right back. So I'm back now in English. What do we have here? We have the different tools looks very close to Photoshop. The view tool, the move tool, the crop tool, the selection brush tool, the flood select tool, the rectangular marquee tool. And it seems to be exactly like in Photoshop. If you click and hold, you can choose between different types of one tool. We have a fill tool, flood fill, gradient. Interesting. Paintbrush tool, also a couple of different type 3 paintbrush tool, color replacement brush tool, interesting, pixel tool, whatever that is. We have, what is that? Paint mixer brush, erase brush, dodge brush, clone brush, undo brush tool, blur brush tool, also obviously different, sharpen, median brush tool, smudge brush tool, like in Photoshop, very similar. We have a healing brush tool, the pen tool, the rectangle tool, artistic text tool, artistic text, that is good. So that we have another, I can be an artist with that, mesh warp tool, and the zoom tool. So that is that. You can drag that around, looks good. So on top, obviously all the different ways here, settings for the tools. What do we have up here? Photo persona, liquify persona, develop persona, and tone mapping persona, and export persona. So that seemed to be, it looks a bit like the different modules that we have in Lightroom, for example, or also in Photoshop. So let's go to the develop module. Please select an RGB pixel layer before entering develop. Aha, interesting. So what I want to do is, because that is what I'm most interested in, of course, is how to develop a raw file. So we're going to open a raw file, new document. Okay, I don't want to open a new document. I want to open, let me see what we have here. I should have prepared before before opening. Let's just take this one. Let's close that. Okay, here we are. It opened. I opened the raw file. You see it says the dimensions. Current file is being developed. Please complete or cancel before closing the document. Here we are, cancel. All right, so I opened this photo, which is yeah, whatever it is. We see the dimension 3476 by 5208 pixel, which is 18.1 megapixel, RGBA 32 HDR. I don't know what that is. Maybe that is just how this photo is going to be treated. sRGB linear, and it says Canon EOS 700D with a Sigma 5200, which is crap. It's not true. It was the 70-300. Okay, so it doesn't recognize the lens that I was using. So let's check what we can do here. We have a histogram. Hooray, hooray. We can see all channels, red channel, green channel, blue channel. Looks good. What is scope? Oh, very good. We see an RGB waveform, the intensity waveform, RGB waveform, RGB parade. Power spectral density. Okay, I don't know that one. I know the other ones. And we have a vector scope. Vector scope that is interesting that we have a vector scope in here, because that is usually a tool that is used for video editing or for grading video digital film. I won't go into detail here, but that is really a useful tool if you know what to do with that. So interesting. Okay, EXIF. We have the EXIF data here, and the lens, it says 5200, which is, it was not. Yeah, usual EXIFs in here, focus. I don't know what that is. Okay, so lens. We have basic. We have the basic adjustments. We have the exposure. Let me see if we can. Yeah, by double click we can set it to 0. We have the black point. We have the brightness, which seem to be the highlights. And obviously there's some sort of an auto enhance in here. No, not an auto enhance. Just enhance. We can enhance the contrast, the clarity, which doesn't seem to do. Oh no, it does something. It's comparatively subtle here. Well, let's lower the brightness a bit. What does this show us? Also like in Photoshop, okay. And clarity works comparatively subtle. We have the saturation, and we have the vibrance also like in Lightroom. So, okay, white balance. We can change the white balance settings. That is interesting because obviously there's no way we have the original settings in here. I presume these are the original settings. It seems like that because I changed the tint in my camera, so more like, no, I didn't change it. I did change the tint. Why did I change it more into the greenish way? I don't know. Yeah, because the camera autocorrect. I worked with I was working with the auto white balance, and because there was so much green around, all the photos all had kind of a slight magenta-ish tint, and so I corrected the tint more into a greenish direction. So that is it here. It obviously reads that, which is cool. So we can change the temperature, and obviously if we reset that, it goes back to the original settings that I made. By double clicking, it sets everything to 0. Okay, cool. Shadows and highlights. Like we can add some shadow light in here, which I don't know if I like that. Darken the shadow, brighten them up a bit, but it seems to look a bit smudgy here. So it doesn't keep the contrast. The highlight slider seems to work quite well. Profiles, what is profile? Output profile. We have a couple of different output profiles. I presume these output profiles are the profiles that are installed on your computer, so they are probably different than, yeah, these are mine. So sRGB, always a good choice. So that looks good. Since we are in the develop persona, we have a couple of other tools here. Obviously, the zoom tool, red eye removal tool, blemish removal tool, the overlay paint tool. What is that? I have no idea. Let's just try that. Maybe, obviously we can, it seems to be like, yeah, it's like the adjustment brush in Lightroom. So I can paint in here. And I have the edge overlay. Drag to start painting, that's what it says. And we can change the exposure. Yeah, cool. It's like the adjustment brush. in Lightroom. Great thing. Like it. Overlay erase tool, so we can erase things. Looks good. Overlay gradient tool. So we have a linear gradient, an elliptical gradient, or a radial gradient. Why do they have a different... Okay, this is the radial gradient. Makes sense, and you can change the fade, the softness. Very cool. And with the elliptical, you can change this, the shape. Interesting, interesting. How can we rotate that? Or can we rotate that? Okay, we have to use those handles here. And if you click on develop, it obviously is in there. The question is if everything will be in there, if I can change it. Okay, now I'm in the photo persona module again. So let's go back to the develop persona. And it seems everything is put on, is rendered in the photo. So let's go to history. Aha. Interesting. Interesting info. It is comparatively intuitive. I can say that already. The crop tool. On here we have the different ways to use the crop tool. Looks good. And what do we have here? White balance tool. We've been in there already. The white balance tool. Okay, it seems to be kind of just click auto white balance, or just the picker for the white balance. Click or drag to set white point. Hold shift to add average multiple white points. Drag and alt to sample from rectangle. Well, let's sample from a rectangle. Like so. But it seems the rectangle is only... Okay, it froze. There's the thing with the public beta, obviously. That it has some issues still. Okay, we're back. Now can change. So yeah, that seems to all look quite good. I have to be very honest. I miss but okay, let's nevertheless check that. Lens distortions. You can add or remove lens distortions. Detail refinement. Radius and amount. I overdo this, of course. Noise reduction. We have also luminance and color noise reduction. And noise addition. If we want that. Tones. Curves, black and white, split toning. Overlays. So what I don't know what overlays are. Add brush overlay, add gradient overlay. Let's add a gradient overlay. Just make a linear gradient because I want to darken the foreground a bit. So we can do that. Very comparatively sophisticated. So the first impression, I think I'm gonna stop here. The first impression is that it is really a mixture between Photoshop and Lightroom. And so it definitely takes a bit of time to really get into that piece of software, but it's way, way more intuitive than, let's say, GIMP, for example. I tried GIMP, I think at least 5 times, tried to get a hang on that, but it didn't. I wasn't able to. I'm too stupid for GIMP. Yeah, it seems to be worth a look, definitely. We can, what do we have? Tone mapping persona. Please either commit or cancel the develop operation. Okay, well, that's... It obviously does it now, develops. Good. Tone map. Did I do any kind of tone mapping, or is that part of, is that the highlights and black point, etc., etc.? It seems to be slower than Lightroom, to be very honest. It seems to be slower, but my computer is of course not too fast anyway, but Lightroom is nevertheless faster. So let's go to tone map. Tone mapping, for those of you who do not know what that means, that is mainly used for HDR photos. Let's take this cool preset, reduce the brightness a bit maybe to make it look a bit more softer. I'm missing the white point, I have to say that. Black point is cool that I have the black point, but I'm missing the white point, so that I could push the whites a bit more, because so it looks a bit dull. To be very honest. Enhance, what do we have here? Yeah, we can enhance the contrast. I'm not really, I don't really, the results are, I should try to develop that photo in Lightroom as well, because I didn't so far. But yeah, I think let's keep it at that. That is a first very short glimpse, or it wasn't really short, first glimpse into Affinity Photo. So this one's for today. Bye bye. Till next time.